Hey everybody, Chris Maricos here, and in this video I'm going to tell you some of my unsolicited life advice, and I think that you're really going to appreciate it if you listen all the way through the video. I got this idea to make a video about giving life advice that nobody has asked for because I actually had a call with someone, a consultation, where someone came to me and they asked me about starting their business and what they needed to do to transition out of what they were doing before, which was just teaching at different schools and teaching at different centers, and they wanted to transition into independent teaching. And they came to me for this consultation, and they told me lots of information about themselves, what they do, and lots of things that I didn't ask for either, about their problems in their relationship, in their personal life, the fact that they moved around a lot, they moved to a different country or city almost every month, and I was really surprised by that. So my advice, of course, even though what they were looking for was business advice and they wanted to know how to start their own teaching business, and that's what I help people with. Even though they came to me for that reason, I had to tell them some different advice. I gave different advice, and it wasn't necessarily about business. And that's really important to understand why I did that, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in this video. So basically, this person came to me, they asked me how they can start their business, and then they told me lots of reasons why they can't. They told me lots of reasons about how they move a lot, and that means that everything's unstable. As soon as they get to a new place, they have to find a new job. They have to make money to live and pay rent. However, this person was from another country completely, and they had to get there somehow. They had to have money to start out. And why would they move every month if they didn't have money, right? So they told me all of these things, all these problems in their life that they thought were good excuses for why they couldn't do the thing that they were trying to do. And for some reason, they got on a consultation with me and told me why they couldn't do it. Now, when you do that, you're just defeating yourself from the very beginning. You're already telling yourself that you can't do the thing that you say that you're trying to do. So really, it's just, just a front. You're just making excuses why you haven't done it already and trying to justify that to yourself. And so what I did was I told this person that it sounds like they need to focus more, that it sounds like they need to stop moving around. It sounds like they need to forget about their relationship problems and they need to focus on work. And that the main problem, the main thing that was preventing them from starting their own teaching business and taking their teaching career to the next level, the main obstacle for them was focus. And this person really didn't like to hear that. They told me, I don't appreciate your unsolicited life advice. I don't appreciate your unsolicited life coaching or counseling or whatever they called it. And so then I had to, take a deep breath and explain why it's absolutely necessary to do this. And this person is not the only person who I've heard this from before. A lot of people out there think that business problems are separate from their personal problems. And they think that when they approach the problem of starting a business or this challenge of starting a business, and when they approach the problem of not having enough money to start a business or to do the things that they want to do in their life, when they think about those things and they try to find a solution, they think that it's all about business stuff. Like, you're not selling the right way, you need to make a different offer, you need to change your prices, you need to learn a new method. They think that that's the answer. And so they're really surprised when they come to me. And if you're ever in that situation where you have some kind of business problem and you come to me and you tell me about your life and all of the reasons why it's not working for you and why you can't make a change, then you're probably going to hear the same advice from me. So here is my unsolicited life advice for everybody who's watching this video. Hope you're ready. So my advice is that you need to focus on yourself first. You need to work on yourself. That's the most important work that you're ever going to do. And let me tell you why that's the most important business advice that you're ever going to get. That's right. Focusing on yourself, working on yourself, changing your own perspective, your own mindset. That's the most important business advice that you're going to get. That's not just personal advice, that's business advice. Because the question that I asked this person, the example of our story here today, the question that I asked them was, well, who is going to build your business? Who's going to start it? Who's going to run your business day to day? Who's going to do that stuff? Who's going to do those things, those tasks, everything that needs to be done in the business? Who's going to do it? This reminds me of another incident with another person who had a consultation with me. They came to a consultation with me. This was an in-person consultation. They walk into the room, they sit down, and they just start crying. And so I'm sitting there and I'm wondering what is going on, what's happening, what's going on in this person's head right now. And so I gave them a few minutes. I walked out of the room. I come back, and they tell me that what they're trying to do when they're trying to start a teaching business and what they're trying to do isn't working. And that's why they're crying. That's why they're sad. So the next thing that I did, like you can expect now, I hope, is ask them about their personal life. What's happening in your personal life? What's happening with your spouse or your significant other? What do they do? Tell me more about your family. So when I started to do this, this person got really angry. I came here to learn about business. Even though they came in and started crying, I came here to learn about business. Why are you asking me questions about my personal life? And again, I had to explain and ask these questions back. So who's going to run your business? Who's starting the business? Who's going to do the day-to-day activities of your business? And of course the answer is you. You're the one who's going to do that stuff. You're the person who is going to be responsible for everything. You're the person who is going to ultimately be the one who has to make the decisions of the business and take action. And that means that the most important thing for you to do at the very beginning is work on yourself. Because who you are is the foundation of your business. Whatever ethics, whatever morals and ideas you believe in, those are going to be reflected in your business. You cannot be a successful business person without being a successful person, right? Business person also includes the word person. It's not only business, it's also person. So it would be ridiculous to separate the business and the personal and think that they're separate from each other, all right? The person aspect, the person element of business person is very important, especially at the beginning. Now, this is what I call, when we look at this and we look at who you are as a person and how to work on that and where you need to be as a person in order to succeed in business, this is something that I call the initial conditions of your life. So when you start something and when you want to do something, whether it's something new or whether it's something related to business or not related to business, you're going to have to look at the initial conditions, right? If we're talking about science and running experiments, we need to take a baseline measurement. That's what these initial conditions are. And you need to do that in order to be successful. How else are you going to measure your success? And a lot of people don't want to face the fact that they need to work on themselves first. One of the biggest challenges I see with a lot of people who are starting their own business is they open a business or they create a website or they launch something and now they think they're successful and now they start treating themselves as if they've reached some level of success. And great, taking action and actually doing something is a level of success and you should definitely celebrate that. But on the other hand, you can't overlook the fact that you have to keep working on yourself. And I'm not a perfect person by far. I'm far from perfect and I have a lot of stuff that I work on personally. And that's a lifelong journey that you're always going to be on. You're always going to be improving yourself. Just like you're going to be growing your business for your entire life if it's a successful business, right? You're always going to be trying to improve it to get better results, to increase your profits, hopefully. And just like that's what you're going to do with your business, you're going to have to do that with yourself too. You are your biggest project. You are the biggest asset in the business that you're going to create. So thinking that you're separate from your business is a huge mistake. You can't do that. It's just not an option. If you do that, you're going to fail. And so you need to look at the initial conditions of your life. Now, what you need to do if you want to start a business right now, if you want to start a teaching business or any other kind of business, or even if you don't want to start a business, even if you just want to take control of your life and you want to be successful, then you need to start looking at those initial conditions. Now, what do I mean by initial conditions and looking at your life? What I mean is break everything in your life down into categories and separate that into subcategories. So it might be health, and then within health, you might have diet. And then in diet, you might look at different aspects of that. So maybe there's some things that you eat too much of. Maybe there's something that you don't eat enough of. Maybe there's, an activity that you do that's unhealthy, and you want to reduce how often you do that. So you need to look at all that, and you need to be 100% honest with yourself. You need to write out how that looks right now, okay? Everything in your life, your initial conditions, as they are right now, write them out on a piece of paper. Separate them into categories, subcategories, and then individual tasks or items. And then you're going to also, on the other side of the paper, you're going to write out your ideal life. So if those initial conditions were different, those same categories, subcategories, and items, if they were different, in your ideal life, what would they look like? What would they be? How often would you eat that thing that you shouldn't? Or, how often would you do that thing that's unhealthy for you? And it's what you're doing here is you're writing out on a piece of paper and making your goals real. They're real in writing now. When they're in your head, they're not real. When you write them out, they become real. So that's what you need to do. You need to write on one side of the paper how it is now, on the other side, how you want it to be. And then what you're going to do is you're going to connect them by creating very concrete goals, setting very clear goals and tying that to some kind of time period. Now, this is an exercise that we do in my How to Start a Teaching Business program. You can join our free basic training. The link is under this video. And we go into very, very deep detail, really into a lot of detail in my level 2 training called the Teaching Business Catalyst that helps people get their business started, start making money, getting clients, creating products, and really putting together a business. And not only that, but also setting up their life for success. Because as I've told you already, if you're not successful in your life, then how are you going to be successful in your business? Right? Who's going to be running your business? How do you expect, a successful business to just appear out of nowhere if the person running it isn't successful and doesn't really have control of their life? How do you expect that to happen? It's not going to happen. That's the answer. So you can become very successful if you go to work on yourself more than you go to work on your job. That's something that you need to really drive into your mind and really, cement in there and really take it to heart and understand what that means. Work on yourself more than you work on your job. Because in any case, both of those things are related, and working on yourself is working on your job. You are the one who does the job. So by working on yourself, you're improving yourself as a whole, and those separate parts of yourself and things that you do are also going to improve when the whole you is improved. Does that make sense? It should be very clear, but a lot of people overlook that fact, and they don't realize that they themselves are the ones who need improvement before their business does. So a lot of times, people come to me with those business problems, and I would say 8 or 9 times out of 10, so 80 or 90% of the time that people come to me with business problems, it ends up being a personal problem. It ends up being something in their personal life that they need to deal with. It ends up being something about them. And most people don't want to face that. And it's hard to face that. It's hard to look in the mirror and say, there's something wrong with you and you need to change it. It's easier to look at other people and blame other people and blame other things. It's easier to say, it's the weather, it's the government, it's taxes, it's the president. You know, it's easier to blame it on that. It's my teacher, it's my boss, it's the training program, it's whatever else it is. You know, it's my upbringing, it's my school, anything. You'll try to blame everything other than you. You need to have the strength to look in the mirror and tell yourself, it's me, I'm the problem, and now I'm going to fix it. And that's what real strong people do. That's what successful people do. And if you want to have a teaching business or any other kind of business, or if you just want to be in control of your life and at all, then you're going to need to do this. So I hope that this video really reaches you, and I hope that you really understand what I'm talking about, because you know, it's sad sometimes to see people who really do want to achieve great things and really want to become successful, and especially people who join my program or come to a consultation with me and they want to start their teaching business, but there's this huge obstacle in their way. There's this big rock or boulder standing in the path to their success, and they don't know how to get around it. And unfortunately, even when someone shows them the path of how to get around it, they don't trust, and they don't go down that path. They don't go around the rock. They just sit there and stare at the rock and say, well, I guess I can't pass. And that rock that I'm talking about is you, because the only obstacle to your success is you. And the sooner you understand that, and you understand fully what that really means for your life and for your business, most importantly, right? Because if you're watching this, you're probably looking for business advice. And instead, you're getting my unsolicited life advice. And so you need to understand that it's you. That's it. It's you. And look at your initial conditions. Compare them to where you want to be. Make a plan of action. I mean, this is basic stuff, and this is the very beginning of what we do in our program that shows you how to start a teaching business and how to really achieve success and take control of your life and your career. And, you know, I understand that that'll probably put some people off from this program. They're going to say, well, why would I join a program that's just going to give me some life advice? I want business advice. Well, this is not for those people. You know, there's other people who said that, you know, the video's too long. I'm not going to watch all of it. They don't have patience. They don't have the attention span. This is not for them either. You know, it's not for everybody. It's only for people who have what it takes to be successful and to really achieve great things. And that's what our teaching revolution is all about. So if that's what you're interested in, and if you would like to learn how you can take control of your life and your career, and how you can work on not only your business, but also yourself, so that your business will succeed, then I suggest clicking the link under this video and joining our free training program. It's a free basic training program, and it's not too long. You know, you can join it and do it in one day, and then you can decide if it's for you or not. And but really, even without doing that, you can start implementing what I'm telling you right now in your life. Go to work on yourself more than you go to work on your job. Understand that you're the only obstacle to your success, and look in the mirror and have the courage to say, that's wrong. You're not doing it right. You know? Have the courage to write out what your life really is like right now. Write those initial conditions. Write your dream life and set action steps. Your business will not succeed without anyone participating. You have to participate. So you have to be successful, and you have to be confident and know what you're doing. And, you know, if you don't take control of your life from the personal side as a person, then you're not going to be able to as a business. So to be a successful business person, focus on the person first. All right. Thanks for watching, and click the link to join the free program. Make sure you press like and press subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications about future videos. And I really hope that you like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.